Good morning. Happy Father's Day. It's Sunday, June 21st. And this is a new garden recording. I talk a lot about daylilies and versus lilies. And I wanted to show you the difference between them and kind of what kind of types there are for daylilies. If you're looking at daylilies, one of my things I do in the morning is I go through and I deadhead, and every flower that you see open will be gone tomorrow. That's just the nature of a daylily, which is where it gets its name. It blooms once, but it makes up in volume of blooms for the lack of staying open multiple days. Daylilies have really nice strap leaf foliage. Sorry, there's a lot of frost damage on these from the freezes we had, so it's not as pretty foliage as it could be, but it does have some damage from the late freezes that we had. Lilies, on the other hand, whether they be trumpet lilies or Oreopets, which are oriental and trumpet lily hybrids, or Asiatic lilies, definitely have a different foliage structure. You can see that. Daylily below, lily here. And lilies have huge flowers that last for about 4 to 5 days and are typically highly scented, except for the Asiatics. There's a few that have some scent, but very few. But we'll go into daylilies more. There are different types. There's just regular daylilies that have really big flowers. This one is called Garden Show. You can see the dead daylilies from yesterday. Daylilies are super easy to grow, low maintenance, and are reliable. Very few daylilies I have lost over the years. It happens now and then, but it's not a typical thing. These guys right here are prairie blue eyes. They're in no way blue. Blue is the only color that has yet to be developed in a daylily. Doubt it ever will. They're a one-time bloom for the season. These are about maybe 4 inches across. Garden Show right here is about 6 inches across. So they're bigger flowers, and you can see all the buds that develop. So every day this time of year, when the early to mid season daylilies are blooming, you're going to have an explosion of color like this. This guy right here is called Ain't I Something, and it's a double daylily, and double daylilies take on different forms. But this one is a really pretty one, and I'm really happy to have this one. Let's see. And every day is like just coming out into the garden and discovering a whole bunch of new flowers. It's just really relaxing and a pleasure. These are some of my favorite spider types. This is called Spin Dazzle, and they have very recurved foliage or flowers, and their coloring is just amazing. The sad thing about summertime and daylilies is that they open in the morning with this beautiful coloration, and quite a few of them will not hold that color throughout the day, especially when it's an intense sunlight day. There's also rebloom daylilies, which you get your first flush of flowers like mid to early spring, and then they'll go into sort of a refractory period where they'll rejuvenate and get some more energy. This is pink fairy tale, or fairy tale pink, excuse me. It's loaded up with flowers, and it will rebloom again right before fall. And most of what we're seeing right now are the mid-spring or mid-season daffodil or daylilies. Getting daffodils, daylilies all mixed up. They are about done, or are peaking right now. And the late season ones will start soon, and then the very late ones will be starting in September. I've got a few late ones that are not even budding yet, so that's good. They provide some really good color in the fall. This one right here is called Autumn Minarets, and it'll be about 46 inches high. Here's another really pretty orange double. Another spider type called Tennessee Tan. Prague Spring. And I've got lilies mixed in with daylilies because lilies like their roots shaded, but they like full sun for the top of the plants. There are also miniature daylilies. This guy is Little Henry, and he is a very prolific bloomer, but you can see how small the flowers are. They're just very cheery, and I hadn't really gotten into very many of the smaller daylilies, but I do like them a lot. And I've got another one called Golden Chimes, which is a pretty gold color that is also a prolific bloomer. Another spider. This is a popular variety called Ruby Spider. Here's another example of some really nice, gentle blushes of color in a daylily that won't survive the afternoon if the sun is really, really hot. This is a good display of Desert Flame this morning. Just very intense orange-red and beautiful color. This is All American Chief. It's brand new to the garden this year. I just bought these lilies, these daylilies back in April. It's a little short, but they're already blooming, which is great. This is why I shop with my supplier Oaks. They send you big plants that bloom the first season 9 times out of 10. Some daylilies have very, very ruffled, braided, toothed edges. This guy right here is a prime example of that. has been putting on a great show this year too. Here's a ruffled edge daylily. Also another good example of that. So while the daylilies are front and center right now, the lilies are actually making their entrance. There'll be different kinds blooming all the way through early July to mid-July. The thing I love about them the most, besides just being really beautiful, is the smell. They're just incredible. It's a pleasure to just sit in the garden at night or early morning and a light breeze brings those smells over to you. These are Asiatic lilies. This is called Chocolate Event. It's got kind of a brownish purple color. This is first year for these guys, and they are really blooming super nice. Anyway, that's a tutorial on the kind of daylilies that we have here in the garden. It's obviously a lot, but we just really like the ease of care for these. They're super hardy here in the South, and they just really perform very well. So if you're interested in doing any kind of gardening in your landscape, daylilies are always a great choice. Have a great day, and to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day.